So hello there everybody, welcome back to the channel. Dodgy Gamer here, not doing Broken Sword this time, but back with some point and click action. Today we're playing the demo version of The Hand of Glory. This is a game that I've personally backed on Kickstarter. Its full release is coming out in May, I believe. Been pushed back from April, but the production company, an Italian company, obviously working under difficult conditions, as many of us are at the moment due to COVID-19. But I've got the demo. We're going to play through it today and have a look and see, maybe this is something we'll be revisiting in the future. So let's get into the game.
This story begins where many others generally end. At the time, I worked for a detective agency known as HPD, but I couldn't know then what the acronym really meant. I don't think I ever really knew.
Sure, there's a joke in there somewhere. It's the 10th of November on the outskirts of Miami.
For a few months, I'd been on the trail of the man the press not very originally renamed Blowtorch. A clue led me to the extreme outskirts of Miami, in a little out-of-the-way suburb that smelled like rotten fish.
I think that's where David Beckham wants to build his new stadium for Inter Miami, isn't it? That's us. Okay.
Operator,
Hunting
the caller
for
you have
clues.
dialed is unavailable. Do you want to leave a message?
Bundy, knock it off. Judging from the traffic noise, I'd say you disobeyed my orders.
Hey, I just went out for a ride on my bike. What's the harm?
At 10 in the evening, I told you to stay home. The case is ours. We're already racing to the scene of the tip-off.
But the cavalry's already here, boss. Let me find one of those clues that Blowtorch left for me, and we will stop the next murder before you even divorce your third wife.
I'm on my fourth, Bundy, and I will never understand why that killer keeps leaving clues just for you.
Do you need to ask? Because I'm his archenemy, his nemesis, his worst nightmare.
More like he enjoys leaving you every time grasping a handful of air.
Oh yeah. Remind me again, old man. Who stopped the Puerto Rican surgeon and the arsonist of the southeast coast? And what about the...
All old news, Bundy. You haven't caught a break for a long time. And for months you've been following Blowtorch without any results. Why don't you go on holiday and let us do the work?
I'm in Miami, dude. Working here is a holiday.
I'm serious, Lars. Give it up.
Listen, boss. I will limit myself to a stealth approach. Identify the victim's flat. I write everything down. I smoke a cigarette. I admire the skyline. I wait for reinforcements. No shootout planned.
That would be difficult, since you never carry a gun with you.
Well, once a chick told me that the weapon at my side makes me clumsy.
Don't cause any shit, Bundy. We'll be there in a short while.
Okay. That means I have a short while to solve this case.
What did you say?
Nothing.
Bundy, don't screw things up, or I swear...
At previous crime scenes, we always found a letter addressed to me, abandoned in the mailboxes. This time, maybe, I would be able to find that letter before the crime was committed. But I had to hurry.
Okay, so we've obviously got the maverick agent, slightly bumbling detective, and then to counter that, the super serious cop. So we've got that built up already. Good voice acting, I have to say, so far. Nice look to the game, nice kind of cartoony look. Good voice acting. A couple of typos in the subtitles, but we'll manage without that. So we obviously got a clear clue there to go to the mailbox. So let's do that first.
I looked at the various mailboxes and found what I was looking for. An abandoned envelope with no writing or stamps. The only problem remaining was how to open the mailbox.
Okay, well, if you can't open the mailbox, how did you know that was there? Right. Okay, so we've got our phone, got our police badge. Point and click logic tells me. Will the police badge... Okay, we'll click on it. Will that
My badge
work?
wasn't exactly the right tool to wedge this open with, but it was worth a try. The only thing I accomplished was jamming the badge into the narrow crack above the mailbox.
Okay, we're obviously going to need something else. Okay, as these games often do, the spacebar shows us what we can look at. Right, so we've got
I could
buttons.
buzz the whole building without a clue. Someone left a stupid smiley on the intercom.
Okay. And
I
stupid
could
as well.
use it to establish the alleged stupidity of J.J. Irham, but nothing else. I love making prank calls, but this really wasn't the right moment. It wouldn't help me in any way.
Okay, so we've drawn a bit of a blank there. Nothing here that we can pull out. Our badge is stuck. Okay, let's exit that scene. What about the
The door
door
was one of
anyway in?
those you could only open through an electric impulse. I wouldn't be able to force it open, even if it was a normal model. I've always been a washout as a burglar.
Okay, that's why we became a detective. Green Dart, that's our bicycle, huh?
As much as I loved wandering around on Green Dart in the middle of the night, I had work to do.
Okay, nothing else here. Parking meter.
Bikes don't have a fee to park. Or maybe they do. But I'd have canceled my own ticket anyway.
Okay, oh, we got something here. Damaged sidewalk. Oh,
Here's what the taxpayers' money was being used for. I thought it was better to leave before causing some serious damage to the sidewalk.
could we get that
The
rock?
conditions of that sidewalk were getting worse.
Okay, I think we're supposed to keep doing this until we...
A stone bigger than the others
There we
just
go.
fell off the sidewalk. And who was I not to accept the kind gifts from Providence?
So I'm guessing if we pick this up and smack it into our badge, that's going to open the mailbox for us. Okay, it's not drag and drop. Got to remember that.
The way it was stuck, the badge would act as a chisel.
There we go. Fantastic. And even
As
pick the badge
usual,
up
the
for
letter
us.
was ripped and written with invisible ink. I was sure I had some Scotch tape somewhere. Well, I'd have to think about the invisible ink later.
Right, so we've got the ripped up scraps of the letter.
Better think about it.
So he says, I'm sure I had some Scotch tape somewhere. So has he got it on his
As
bike?
much as I loved wandering around on Green Dart in the middle of the night, I had work to do. In addition to being marvelous, it had a handy flask on the front, which I used for basically everything. Normally I would have filled it with scotch, but I didn't want to find myself in Orlando investigating the red whale again. Like last time.
Okay, bit of humour in there. He said it's got... Okay, I clicked through... I was just randomly clicking on stuff. That was
Maybe there
actually...
was still something useful in Green Dart's flask.
That was actually how we got to the point
Hey,
of using the flask.
There really was some scotch after all. Scotch tape, I mean.
Nice joke. Okay, so we found our Scotch tape, which means we need to combine that with
I
the
would have
letter.
stuck the scotch tape in the back of the letter, so as to obtain the best readability. I
Ooh,
always
little
hate
puzzle.
puzzles.
Really? What about people, those of us who like them? I was just about to say, I like puzzles like this. Alright, let's see. What else we got? Looks like we've got a picture of a horse somehow. No, that's not right. Right, well, let's get the other bits together.
If I have to waste time with this...
What? Finish your sentence, man. Okay, we've got the top row done.
I hate this stuff.
Okay, we get the idea, mate. We've got the idea that you don't like it. Tone it down a bit, yeah?
Once I received a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle as a present. I sold it to my nephew.
Okay, I think the the groans are getting a bit much. It's only
It
a
wasn't
puzzle.
as difficult as I feared. At that point, I just had to find a way to read the message hidden in the letter. Well, I remembered that to reveal invisible ink, you just have to warm it. Where could I find a source of heat that late at night?
Let's see, Green Dart, did it get any
Green Dart
friction?
doesn't have a hot engine, so I must do all the work, as usual.
So although it looks like a motorbike, it isn't actually a motorbike. Okay, I guess the intercoms have some electricity.
No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't see a good reason to do that.
Right. Vending machine will have some electricity, maybe.
The vending machine's engine emitted a faint heat.
There we go.
Maybe intense enough to show the hidden writing on the letter. And first, nothing happened. I was about to give up when it happened. The first characters appeared. The letter corresponded in every way with the ones found before. Supportive tone, an apparent desire to support the police force, then laced with a sudden temper tantrum hinting at a killing frenzy. I had to dig into this, looking for clues.
So we're hunting for a serial killer with a detective called Bundy. I'm guessing that's a deliberate choice of name.
The letters were always kindly addressed to me. Blowtorch's tone ranged from disappointment to encouragement, with a barely concealed desire for recognition.
Yeah, he's a good citizen and regular taxpayer. They always are.
The forensic guys had no doubt about the gender of the killer just after the first murder. The reason for their certainty wasn't the accuracy of the burns, so much as the various bruises found on the bodies, which displayed extraordinary force.
Okay, so we're getting a bit serious
The
there.
usual outburst in the middle of a letter that until then seemed thoughtful and balanced. Then I saw the emoticon at the end of the paragraph. That was new.
That's we've seen on the intercom. But wait, he said it seemed balanced up until the outburst. But I'm reading a sentence here talking about eyes being extracted from sockets without corrupting flesh. That's where I'd say we lost the balance.
I guess Blowtorch tried to be funny at times, the only result being to appear even creepier. The last paragraph was surely hiding a clue. The murderer was even directing us to a specific profession.
Maybe.
The initials in the last paragraph were found in the previous letter, but they were too vague a clue to narrow down the scope of the investigation.
A detective with a reputation high as a skyscraper.
The usual closing format. Blowtorch constantly described himself as a normal citizen and a regular taxpayer. I don't know why, but that format made me mad.
Okay, so what next?
The alley led around the building to the right. Before examining the area, though, I had to make sure I was in the right place.
Okay, intercom. We're going to check out that smiley.
Someone left a stupid smiley on the intercom. Maybe it was the right thing to do, but in that moment, I didn't realize it. Someone left a stupid smiley on the intercom.
How has he not made the connection yet? Maybe we need to look at that again.
That face.
Ah,
In his earlier letters, Blowtorch never left anything similar. He
you
took
had
a
to click
mental note.
directly on
That
the
smile
smiley.
left on the letter and the one on the intercom were identical, so I could rule out a simple coincidence. I had just identified the apartment I was looking for.
Okay, let's try again.
The smiley on the intercom marked the flat to inspect. The apartment was registered to a certain G. Glover. I hoped I got there in time.
So we're just going to ring the doorbell. Okay, direct approach. So, Mr. Glover. In no rush, it would seem.
Yes? Who is it?
I'm Detective Bundy from HPD. If you don't mind, I need to ask you some questions. He didn't answer immediately. Moments of total silence passed, during which I thought he had hung up.
Sorry for the hesitation, but I really don't understand what you would want from me. I'm just a normal citizen who...
A normal
Yes, of
citizen
course.
who pays his
But
taxes.
I really need, and I mean really need, to talk to you. With a certain urgency, too. Can you open the front door?
I hate to be a killjoy, but you have a warrant. I don't want to get into trouble with my landlord.
You know what? I guess I forgot it in my other hand. Anyway, I already told you that...
Listen, the landlord is a real pain in the ass, and I don't want any trouble.
If it's such a big deal, you won't have any problem coming back with a warrant. Good night.
Very suspicious.
In my entire
Insist
career,
on a warrant.
I had never been mistreated like that by someone I had to protect. Despite the fact that the guy was an idiot, I couldn't let him be killed in cold blood. Besides the front door, the only visible way in seemed to be the fire escape above.
Right then, fire escape time.
That ladder
check
would
that
have been
out.
the perfect way in, but it was too far. That ladder would make a perfect way in, but how could I reach it?
Toss a rock at it?
The stone was ideal for hitting the ladder's security lock. The problem was that I couldn't see it from my position.
Right then, so we try a different position.
The stone was ideal for hitting the ladder's security
Okay.
lock. The problem was that I couldn't see it from my position.
Right. So he's just going to come back here every time, is
The
he?
little gate was well protected with a lock and chain. At the same time, it was so low that I would be able to jump it, even on my knees.
So can you jump it?
Maybe in that alley, I would find alternative access to the building.
There we go. Oh, that was quick. Right, now we can try the stone, I think.
In that moment, I thought of the hundreds of baseball games I'd seen while living in America, and I had a real moment of epiphany. The greatest champions in history were looking at me from the sky, cheering for me and waving their arms. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the newest member of the Baseball Hall of Fame, Lazurus Stonearm Bundy! Give
Good
it up
shot.
for the only, the incomparable, Lazurus Bundy!
And in which case we just warned the killer that we're coming. Alright. Okay, so up we go. Nice cutscene effect. This scarf, I assume that's a scarf. It seems to be coming out of the back of his coat. Did he cut a hole in the collar or something?
Lazurus Bundy in my place. Who'd have thought it?
Here's my man. All 7'5" of a man, to be exact. Well, so much the better. If things got out of hand, he could protect me.
Lazurus
Little do we know.
What are you doing? I still had some surprises in store for you. Instead, it's already time to put an end to our game.
Just then, I knew I misunderstood the whole situation.
I think you did.
Other word.
Things went down dramatically. I had no gun, as always, and I had to deal with a mastodon ready to kill his next victim. Burton would surely arrive with backup shortly after. But, how shortly? Moreover, we were convinced we had to protect the man who instead just revealed himself to be the monster we were hunting. I thought of sending a text to warn him, but I had no credit on my phone, having accidentally subscribed to a live weather service. I was in more danger than ever. But at least I knew the weather was fine in Baltimore. One thing was for sure, I couldn't wait anymore.
Alright, so how do we get in? Okay, a few things we can look at.
A genuine paradox. My eyes saw the lamp. My brain translated it as good makeshift weapon. He left the storage room open. She was gagged and strung up like a sausage, but above all, she was busty. This further increased my desire to save her.
Guess he's got a different view to us. So we got a clue there that we're going to have to use the lamp and the storage room.
Fast food leftovers looked like they were regurgitated by a warthog. That bottle would make an amazing makeshift weapon. The beast was busy in a one-sided conversation. All he did was grumble. Apparently he became chatty only when it came time to write me letters. beast towered over me, but a bottle in the right spot would put anyone to sleep. I had to hold my breath. The slightest noise would betray me.
Okay, where are we anyway? Okay, there we are. Still haven't got in yet. Whoop.
Never mind.
Okay. What now?
I told you to close that sewer hole, you slut! If I hear even one more whisper, I'll be forced to use more brutal methods than usual. Is that clear?
Okay, nasty piece of work we got. Can we grab the bottle now? No.
Freeing the girl was going to be way more difficult than that. I just have gone from the frying pan into the fire. A genuine paradox.
Okay.
A genuine paradox.
I think I double-clicked on that by mistake.
Trying to use the lamp as a makeshift weapon would have meant walking the entire length of the room twice. If I wanted to die, I could have found a more glorious method, such as jumping out naked after drawing a target on my chest.
Okay, do we have a pen to do that? Anything... If we don't have the rock anymore...
No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't see a good reason to do that.
Okay, can we call for backup?
That damn paid weather forecast service that I couldn't
Okay, you
deactivate
already
wiped
told us
out
about
all
that.
of my credit. I didn't have the money to contact anyone. But in return, I knew that in New Orleans there was a moderate rain with winds above the seasonal average.
Classic observation. Any
By that
messages?
time, they were all using those instant messaging programs. Therefore, my message box was constantly empty.
Okay, he's got the old classic
I
Nokia
only had a
phone.
game. The one with the snake that has to eat the dots all scattered
Classic.
over the screen. I was complete rubbish at video games. I had a pretty good idea of how to distract the threatening big guy.
I think I know what your idea is. So, alarm on. Yeah. Then... got to put the phone somewhere, so... That's the way to get him
I
in the
was
storage
desperate
room,
and in
maybe.
dire straits. I could do nothing but go for broke.
Look what you made me do, slut! First, I need to recover that damn phone. But I still don't know how you managed to keep from me. Then, we'll settle up.
Ah, he thinks it's her phone. Right. Okay, we better move. Okay, it's all tense and dramatic. Okay, there we go. Oof.
What the fuck?
Oh,
Stay
excuse
calm.
me.
I'll get you out of here in a split second.
Okay, now we rescue the girl. Fantastic. Oh, uh-oh. Well, there is a reason he's called Blowtorch. And there you have it.
Hurry,
what has
run!
happened to that girl? I hope that's
I'll
makeup.
hold him.
Oh, here he comes with his mask. Ooh, a backhanded slap. Dramatic slow motion. I think we've been knocked unconscious. Hope that's not game over. I assume there was some way we could have got out of that. Or there wasn't some way we could have got out of that. Okay. Something in Italian popped up at the bottom there. Is that Blowtorch now having put some shoes on? Different girl, perhaps? Yeah. Thanks for that. It was a bit dark to see. Sigilum. Okay, and then we get the intro, The Hand of Glory. Okay, next. Oh, okay. So I guess that's the end of the first episode.
So let me get this straight.
End of our demo.
You put yourself on the trail of a dreadful serial killer. You eradicated me from my life and got me involved in a kidnapping case. We went up against some dangerous alchemists. We both lost our jobs. We traveled to the other side of the world. We broke into a den of murderers. Twice. You pushed me to stare straight into Satan's eyes, for crying out loud. And now, you want to stop because your bicycle is broken?
I prefer the term injured.
Okay. Interesting twist at the end there. The bicycle is broken. No. Injured. And back to the beginning. Okay. I guess we. I see. They just played like the trailer for the full game there at the end. Okay, I gotcha. Okay, well that was pretty good. Hope you enjoyed it as well. Please do drop a like if you've enjoyed it. If you're looking forward to the full release, do let me know. I do believe the game is now on Steam, so you can wishlist it ahead of that May. Whoa. Dramatic May, that May release. So yes, drop that like if you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'm Dodgy Gamer, and I will speak to you again soon.